we doing, guys? We're gonna give you the recap of our lineup. This one actually cashed. I was saying I think I did a little bit of research before the show, and I think it's like 4 or 5 of our lineups this season have cashed. So this is one of them. Although I said in the description, I thought all of our conversations throughout the whole year were very good and got you on a lot of interesting topics and angles. So I don't regret it at all. I think it was actually a good session. Every week we came and gave it to you. But this one specifically did cash. What's interesting is we did talk about some other angles that would have even done better that we could have done. Like we were talking about doing Seattle's defense. Obviously, we would have went with that build. Gov, you probably had a big part of it as well, and we're going to kick it over to Donnie to talk about why he chose Holland, because that really, kind of set the tone for this lineup. But I just want to shout out, you were very headstrong on Walker being in the lineup. It was my only Walkers here, so to be honest, I wasn't on it at all. I like Walker. I should have been on him more, but you basically single-handedly brought me profit in that regard because I just didn't think Walker was that necessary. I thought Darnold was going to have his MVP performance. He was going to finally show the doubters wrong, and Walker was the key of this lineup because he really held it together until we had that big performance from Holland at the end of the game. But Donnie, why don't you tell people why you picked Holland since it actually worked out? We actually made some profit.
Yeah, the main reason why I picked Hollins, and funny enough, my Hollins captain didn't cash. I did have a Kenneth Walker cap that cashed. So I worked it out because I did cash with my Kenneth Walker. So that's fine. But yeah, my Mac Hollins lineup, and the reason why he was the pick was he was just so cheap for one. And that big body, he was going to get, I thought he was going to get a red zone target. Not that they ever made it there. Mm-hmm. but I don't care how lopsided you thought the matchup was. There's no way you could go into the game and predict, the Patriots won't pass the 30-yard line. Whatever. I don't want to get too much into that part.
I always love, every year there's some obvious thing that just happens that's in the showdown lineup for the Super Bowl. A few years ago with Kansas City when they won, it was just right, Mahomes has been hot all year. He's just going to be your captain with a bunch of his pass catchers. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is, even though you don't like playing quarterback captain. And this year, the one thing everyone I knew was doing, the one thing Donnie said we had to do that we did in this lineup, we played Jackson. My two best lineups were the two that I had that faded in Jigba. Mm-hmm. That was one of the keys. The fact that this cashed with JSN, we may very well have been if JSN and Booty had been Ramondre in the defense, we probably would have been a half a point off a first.
Yeah, true.
It's a straight 2v2.
Maybe that's not anything Patriots related we got was lucky, right? The Ramondre touchdown, garbage time luck. I know the Hollins touchdown wasn't exactly luck. It was just, but it was kind of Hail Marys trying to get back in the game.
Your offense was supposed, we sort of got it right. The offense that we thought was going to show up was going to be Mac Hollins and Ramondre Stevenson and Drake May doing Drake May things. And what we got was that, but that's kind of crappy and only put up a few points in the fourth quarter in garbage time against a really good defense.
I didn't think the offensive
Diggs was non-existent was crazy to me.
Well, he's got the baby mama drama. Him and Cardi B broke up that
same
day.
He did have a lot of drama.
So, him and Cardi B broke up that day. So maybe, I don't even know how... I hate to say he wasn't locked in, but he might not even been locked in like he should have been.
I never know what to think of Diggs' mental. And, that's the thing about him with the Patriots. He's actually been pretty locked in this season, and then this game he just disappears in the big moment.
But, I expect, he had to have been having an awful day with all the baby drama. I mean...
forget all the nonsense.
You just can't predict that.
Yeah. I mean, you could say it's a celebrity, and like we could get it, like not even from a gossip standpoint, just look at it from a relationship standpoint. There's a lot of personal going on that would have affected anyone in that situation.
But yeah, I'm not dissing him. Like I don't
Yeah.
think it's like, oh my god, he wasn't locked in. What a it's definitely there's no way it didn't play a factor.
It's just the human factor, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the human element of what this game is, and there's no one knew this going in.
See, I was on a lot of things, but I wasn't on a Walker outside of this lineup. Like I was on a lot of Cup and other lineups, which obviously look good, but not having like you need a Walker.
Yeah,
See,
I got Walker and Barner. I got Walker, Barner, Collins, and the kicker in Myers, all in the same.
I honestly think Barner was straight up random. Barner could have been Shaheed, could have been a Cup touchdown, could have been.
I agree.
It could have been a road.
This game should have been a huge
literally
blowout.
was a random. That one was random. Whereas I thought the offense was going to flow through Walker and then what Darnold can do off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if Darnold kind of pumpkins, then the kicker was the best way to go because they'd probably get close enough with Walker to kick a field goal, and then Myers would kick a 48-yard field goal. And
to me, the game felt decided.
38-yard field goals, but he did that like 4 times.
Yeah. To me, the game felt decided really when Gonzo dropped that pick to end the half, and it was 9-0 instead of 6-0. Granted, the game I don't think the Patriots would have won anyway.
That a game of all honestly, if he catches that or
that changes everything.
Had a monster game. He had
one of the best games I've ever seen. I'll never forget that performance because that's gonna go and no one's gonna remember it years from now. But
that's scary. Like you have a top-notch corner. Like that's the thing. Like all you showed is that your offense is a little limited because Drake May is still young. So the more Drake May evolves, the better your team gets, and you're already showing you have a lockdown corner and a great defense.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the Will Campbell stuff, but 14 pressures as one offensive lineman, and that doesn't count the rest of the offensive line, which we know has weak links. That's just
rookie offensive line will do that. Rookie offensive line will do that.
To be fair,
I argue. I don't know why Campbell didn't move to the right side or Wilson didn't move to the right side and one of our veterans didn't go to the left. That would have been a move I would have made in the early season just because why are we starting two guys on the left side that are rookies? That doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not a coach. I don't know.
Correct me if
I know when you can move.
But didn't Campbell get hurt at the end of this? He got hurt near the end of the season too.
Campbell got hurt. I believe it was after the Browns game. He had an MCL sprain. He came back, he tore that MCL and played through the playoffs, but no excuse. If he's that hurt, Vidarian Lowe should be playing football.
Well, I'm saying that's how bad your offensive line is. He had to play through those injuries because that's the best they got. You can say next man up, but if the next man up is terrible.
I know I'm a Vidarian Lowe hater. I hate that guy. I watched him get Drake May killed all last year, but he was better than that.
Yeah, maybe.
Will Campbell, that was pathetic. And that's on coaching, not on Campbell. He was hurt. He wasn't good, but at some point you got to pull him.
But I'll just go back to what Gov said. I mean, the Patriots were the underdog. They exceeded expectations. The only problem with the Patriots is they were really young. A lot of their mistakes are just they were young. They ran against a generational defense. The Seattle Seahawks, they were just better.
Monsters of the Midwest, I guess, or Northwest.
I think we all came into this game thinking Seattle's going to win this, right? That was my prediction. I don't know what Logan's was. I'm pretty sure Guff thought that Seattle was going to win it.
Yeah, I did.
I think we all felt that way. It was just a matter of I didn't think the Patriots would get embarrassed like that. I was at halftime. My friend texted me and was he's a Patriots fan as well. He was like, "How we feeling at half?" And I said, "Man, I am more deflated than Brady's footballs. I got nothing for you."
I bet it right away because I thought the 4.5 was gonna move, and it didn't. I just favored Seattle the whole way. I didn't expect it to be a blowout. I know some people were taking alternatives. They were taking like Seattle.
I trusted this defense. I trusted this defense. I thought the defense was good enough.
I did too. And to be fair, they played that's the sad part is the Patriots defense. Like we saw one of the best defensive performances on both sides of the ball. I think of it in any Super Bowl. Like, but they just won't get the credit in the history books because everyone will look at the score. But I thought
the tackling wasn't great. I think Sam Darnold. I know the stats weren't exactly perfect, but the pocket presence he had was all-time great that day. I mean, he was awesome.
And I don't think he had a turnover at all in the entire playoffs.
Nope.
So
no turnovers in the playoffs. Right.
That's remarkable.
So credit to it's kind of like the Joe Flacco year. It feels like maybe he'll get me back and do it again. But to me, it feels like Joe Flacco with the Ravens. I said that going in on our last show. And if you're hot, you're hot. Keep riding the hot hand, right?
Maybe, but look at Joe Flacco's career now. You can't even say that's a bad career. Like if Sam Darnold.
Oh no, I'm not disrespecting it. Like he won a Super Bowl and he was a starter for a long time. I think Darnold's proved that he's going to be that. But it's just how much do you invest in Sam Darnold will always be the question.
See, I think that's why I was wrong on this line though, because I thought this all lined up for Sam Darnold to like really go out and prove his doubters wrong. And so I'm like, well, there's no reason for Walker. I just feel like this will be a game where Sam Darnold makes some plays. He escapes the pocket. He like shows off his athleticism. Maybe he doesn't run, but like he has a great pocket presence. And that's what we saw. Like he evaded a lot of sacks. It just like he dumped it off to Walker, and then Walker ran to like Superman mode and did some amazing things after the catch. And he fully deserved to win MVP. In fact, the offensive line holding on that play where they probably didn't need to hold, like he would have had another touchdown. Then this lineup would have probably even been better.
Yeah, no, and I just one more point on Darnold, I guess, because I mean his numbers didn't look great in whatever. It's Sam Darnold. People don't love Sam Darnold, obviously, but his numbers didn't look great, but he did exactly what he needed to do to win that game. The Patriots couldn't do a damn thing.
At this point, Sam Darnold is an experienced veteran quarterback. That's about all you can give him. And that's good enough to go win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you have the right defense.
And they'll be back next year pretty much. I don't think they have anyone up for contract. I know the Patriots, the Patriots, I think, have a chance to lose more than the Seahawks because Chason's a free agent. He was, monster for him this year. They've got to pay some guys, and I don't know, how much are you willing to pay Caleb Von Chason, who is one of your best pass rushers, when he's only done it for one season in a contract year?
I will say, though, that Seattle losing their offensive identity with Kubiak is a big deal. Like, I remember when the Lions lost Ben Johnson, that offense didn't look the same. It might have had some of the same cheat codes. It might have, it might have known some secrets, but when you change offensive coordinators like that, and you have the bravado going into the season, so I do think that's going to change a lot.
Yeah, but it's kind of different because the Lions, they have a limited quarterback and lack some talent around him. Like I know they have Gibbs, but Gibbs and Amon-Ra, and then you have a speedster that you need to design open, and then no other receivers really. I know Laporta's there, but you have to be creative to get that Lions offense to move because it has a lot of limitations. Yeah. Whereas the Seahawks, they have so many guys who can do so many different things.
They are more talented than people realize because they got injured a lot this year. Guys like Corton who are really young still. Gov, you said you faded JSN. I didn't fade JSN in any lineup, so I'm guessing those lineups did very well for you. And
they were my only cashing lineups, yes.
Yeah, how do you get the confidence to do it? Because you could have told me your script and your idea, and I would have been like, no, Gov, I'm still too uncomfortable.
Honestly, I literally had no script. I didn't have a plan for what this lineup was supposed to look like. I just said, I'm not playing JSN in a couple of lineups.
I see. So it was
I just won't do it. One lineup was a Ken Walker. Yeah. And one lineup was a Stephon Diggs captain.
But you basically called what happened. You said, hey, I don't want to play JSN in all these lineups because if he gets hurt or misses an extended amount of time, That's
or
a
has
huge,
one of those random dud games. Like he's had two. Like people forget he's had two like sub 10 fantasy point games this year where he was not hurt.
yeah.
Although technically he went in the tent for a little bit in this game.
And his two best games this year, I believe, were against the Rams. So like, and we're coming off of that as well. So yeah, I probably shouldn't
Not to
have won.
mention everyone had the same thought as you, Logan. So everyone was playing JSN. And
Everyone's playing him.
what was his percentage right there?
I haven't pulled up
Like
on the
how
screen.
owned was he in the tournament? He
It was
like
76%.
See, that means 24% of the field had my thought.
Yep.
I just went I built 3 lineups. So that means I was 66% fading him.
And I kind of had the same idea, but I did it with Walker because like this is the only Walker lineup I had. And I was happy to have it because I'm like, you know what, I don't have any Walker going into this week, so I'm glad that we got him in this lineup. But yeah, because we saw exactly what it was. It was an injury that kept him out for the majority of the third quarter and some of the fourth. And like he came back, but you could tell they didn't need to push at that point. So it was a good play. I did though have because I thought there was a bigger edge because of the way the pricing was set up with Cooper Kupp. He was 5,200, and so I'm like, well, you still got to make a decision on Cooper Kupp. There's so many cheap guys in DFS that you can build different. But on the prop bets on the alternate receiving, I took a lot of Cooper Kupp. So the injury did benefit me in that regard because Cooper Kupp basically hit his overs in like that first quarter. I think I had him at like 25 yards, 35 yards, and then like 46 or something. So that was a good call.
I did cash with my JSN lineup as well.
Did you?
I fully cashing had JSN. So that's not like a death sentence because he was 72%. So, but man, fading JSN, that. Phew.
But that's exactly Gus' point. If you fade him at 76%, you don't need that much to go right as long as you get the fade right. And he was right.
And that's sort of what I banked on. Like that seemed to be the consensus of a lot of stuff I was seeing around. And it's like fading this is going to give me the best leverage. And like it gave me a lot of salary to work with. Like I was able to get like having 2 quarterbacks was no problem. Having making sure I had Walker, no problem.
You could make sure you had Walker, right? You could put him in the captain, you could have him in the flex.
Yeah, to me it was either you had to fade JSN or K9. Whichever one you came up with, you have to live with. You had to fade one of the two.
Yeah. Now, no, well, you didn't have to. You see, we got both in a lineup. But like, I do think like the fade of the highest owned JSN. That is one of the things that helped me this week. I think that was something that could have, as you see, like 24% of the field got that set of kind of leverage.
Yeah.
Like that was probably of course you fade that guy. Not because he's JSN, but because in Showdown, when that super expensive dude is also one of the top owned guys, you just sort of can fade him and be really good. And
you have to hope a little bit because I think in that first quarter, for example, Sam Darnold missed JSN, like just overthrew him just slightly. And if JSN catches that ball, it could have been like I want to say like a 50-yard touchdown. So
no, that was like an 80-yard touchdown if he came down.
So
yeah, that was ridiculous. That's game breaking.
Yeah. So you see the risk of fading a guy like that, and you knew that risk. That's what's interesting is you still made it. I would say my boldest call, since we're talking about bold calls that you made, my boldest call was I took a prop bet at the most punts in this game being 7.5, and that I think hit before halftime. It was that was a pretty easy call by me. That was probably my boldest take. I hit a lot of that this week. Was there anything that surprised you about this game, Donnie, that you got right?
I got right. You know, I wouldn't say surprised. I knew my Patriots pretty well, right? So like I knew not to put Henderson. I don't know. He probably got there at the end with that like last dump off. but
he did get
I knew
there.
really not to play Henderson. I knew not like don't trust the backup running back for Seattle to get past this off defensive line. It's not gonna happen. Like those things, I felt like I did pretty good at. I don't think I made too many mistakes.
You got Hollins
Christian
right.
Gonzalez. Yeah, Christian Gonzalez having the greatest game of his life and shutting everything down was not on my bingo card. I didn't think it was possible to just completely shut down JSN. But, it happens. And I guess that's my biggest shock is Christian Gonzalez was 10 times better than I thought he could be.
Lights out, honestly.
Yeah, he was.
It's one of the greatest games I've ever seen from a corner. I know I'm biased, and I've loved him from the start, but that is honestly, when you consider how big the moment was, one of the best games I've ever seen from a corner. That directly impacted the game.
Like I said, collectively, I think it was the best two defensive units I think we've ever seen in a game.
My only downplay on that is like Seattle didn't play a good offense. Like the Patriots' offense has struggled for the last 3 weeks. So how much is it just like the Patriots were not offensively sound?
Yeah. I mean, like even the things that went right for me, I had to get lucky on. Like I took a 2.5 turnover prop because Stevenson's been fumbling a lot, and I'm like he fumbles a lot. Walker
gets a lot. He hasn't fumbled in a long time, actually. Like I will give him.
But that's why I took it though, Donnie. I figured each quarterback's good for one interception. Sorry, Gov, you saying?
I would say I was just agreeing. Ramondre had a very good year. I've had him in guillotine and other stuff this year. Like Ramondre was actually doing quite good.
He had that one awful game against the Steelers where everyone was like, "Oh my God, cut him!" And I wasn't quite that far because what does cutting him do? But after that moment, Vrabel backed him and he looked good.
I agree, but I just figured against a good defense, we would get a fumble and then we would get an interception from both quarterbacks. But I didn't expect May to basically get me all the turnovers. But I'm like, you know what? I'll take it at this point as long as it cashes.
But wasn't that kind of obvious looking back on it? Like in hindsight, he's been doing that.
Yeah, he's been doing that. Yeah.
He has happy feet in a pocket that's not existent, and
I am excited.
I don't know how much I put that on May. I really don't. I know he had a bad game, but I just have trouble, and I bias. I know.
True.
I just can't put it on May.
I don't got a whole lot more to say, so we were going to keep this kind of short and sweet for you guys anyways, but we did cash this lineup. We will probably be back for the UFL. We're going to take a few weeks. We're going to try to give you I'll give you an off-season schedule and on Twitter as well. If you guys could like and subscribe on your way out, that'd be great. I'll kick it over to these guys in case they have anything else to say, but Donnie, Gov, we good?
I am ready.
I'm feeling
for my
good.
Vacation.
The end of football season is time for a good reflection. Like these review shows that we've been doing, now is the time for a full season review. I have notes on Showdown for myself. I feel like I have written down almost 20 times this year, I was a 2v2 off of what shipped. I was a 2v2 off of what shipped. Yeah. Guess what happened in the Super Bowl? I was a 2v2 off of what shipped.
That means your process
was... So quick question.
So that means I have to reassess those lineups and what I can think about moving forward to make them into the better lineups. And I have a glimmer. I have a thought, but like I'll wait and bring that around for next year when we start the lineups and show.
Fair enough, that would be a teaser. But just so you guys know as well, I have to agree with Gov. We didn't win every lineup, but I thought our process got better and better. Like hearing from these two guys every week made me a better DFS player. So I hope it made you guys a better DFS player out there. If you want to tell us what you liked about our show, what you didn't like, any kind of feedback, how you did throughout the year. Hopefully, maybe you guys, reviewed your lineups as well, because I do think that's a vital part of playing DFS. But with that being said, good night, guys. Like and subscribe on the way out. Take care.
Peace out, everybody.